Well, welcome back to SAFC Live. We barely had time to draw breath at the end of that one. Sunderland have won at the Hawthorns by 2-1. Danny, how do you begin to sum that one up?
Well, I just felt there was going to be a good opportunity between sort of when they were making the changes, the game was opening up in that second half, and you're thinking, are we going to get that good opportunity? And I was thinking it was the one what fell to Jack Clark. We drove forward, didn't we? I think it was a 4v2, 4v3. I think Linden's played it behind Jack, and then we caught it. He's got the opportunity, thinking, are we going to get another one? But it's that man of the moment, isn't it? Dennis, sent off last week. He's the hero this afternoon with a couple of goals. A little bit of a toe poke, but I think it's took a deflection up and over the goalkeeper.
You said not long before that as well, you felt like there was going to be an opportunity for Sunderland.
Yeah, you felt it, because you're thinking the onus is on West Brom in a way. They're the home team. Yeah, they've got another game in hand, but I'm just saying, look at their fixtures, what they've got left on paper. Like ourselves, there's several teams scrambling to try and get in, I think, for those 5th and 6th places, which are up for grabs. You're expecting them. They're making the changes. They're pushing on for them to go and get the winner. And then you fancy us on the counter-attack. Can we be tidy? Can we get one or two opportunities? And I thought that was the one there where it fell to Jack, where he's just bent past the far post. But we kept on going. We had a little passage of play there where we were patient with it. I think Michu's involved. Dennis starts to move off. It's into Alex Pritchard, and he just slips it back into Dennis, and he carries on his run, and he tucks it away, and that's the difference.
Let's have a look then at the highlights then from today's game. And it was a good start from West Brom.
I think both halves were similar. West Brom started really well first few minutes in the first half, and then we've seen in the second half they had them 4 or 5 shots, didn't they? Within the space of 10 seconds or so. But yeah, early on I thought it was going to be a long afternoon. They were bright, energetic early on, West Brom, in that first 10 minutes or so, and we were struggling to get to terms to the pace. We were trying to play our way, at their pace really, and it wasn't working. They were catching us on the ball. We weren't clearing things. You see there, we're quite panicky and nervy back in our own box, and weren't dealing with situations, but we got away with it and rode it out. We didn't have too many opportunities ourselves in that first half. I'd say we had good control of the ball, really moved it quite well across the pitch, but didn't really get any clear-cut openings. That one there from Joe's a half chance, isn't it, from the corner, which they managed to nick. Ahmad's unlucky there, just nicks it through the defender's legs, Peters I think it is, and keepers out quite sharp to deal with it.
A few yellow cards in the game, 6 overall, 3 for each side.
Yeah, and it was mainly on Joe Gellhardt. He got a bit of treatment, didn't he? I think that one there, he gets clattered, and the ref done well. As we said, he went back to Malumbi to book him a couple of minutes after that one. One for Grant, this one I think over on that far side, doesn't he? Just chops inside, and yeah, he's looking to, bend it into that far side. He's not going to get the bend on it because he puts his laces through it and it slices it wide of the target. But I wouldn't say I was disappointed with West Brom. I perhaps expected more from them, a bit more quality. They've obviously picked up under Carberry since he's been there. But
in particular up top.
Yeah, I think Jed Wallace didn't see much of him this afternoon.
Really
Santi, he was
clear shots on goal.
Yeah, he was frustrated all afternoon. You see, he was involved with Luke O'Nien a lot. Come together a few times. They were arguing, exchanging words. So yeah, but I expected more from them, to be honest. And ourselves, I think Ekwar at times he done quite well. Early on, I think trying to get up to the pace and speed of the game really, but after that he settled in quite well and got a few tidy passes in and used his weight and used the ball quite well. Barr at times similar, difficult for him because he seems to be in and out of the team, doesn't he? Abdullah Barr at the minute, he can't really get a run in the team, so he comes in, he seems to play a game, then he goes out of the team for a few, then he comes back in. At times he does well, he shows good feet, and then I think there was one setting off, wasn't it? On the counter attack, he's got to be tidier with the pass. But here's the big talking point, from that first half, isn't it? It's that penalty. And I think for me, I don't think it's a penalty. It doesn't look good, I'll say that. But I think Swift toes the ball away, and he's on his way down before Luke O'Nien comes across. Luke goes to play it with his left, and they have a slight coming together, I think, with their right knees. Well, Luke's right knee might be John Swift's left, and it's Swift that steps up and tucks it away. So we're going in at half-time, and I think we've pretty much dominated long spells in that first half, but probably had a good 30 minutes or so in that first half, really.
And there'll still be fans debating that penalty, won't they, deep into the night, because you can see why the referees give it, because of where he's looking at it from, but look at that.
Yeah, but even from that angle, you can see, like, Luke's left, he plays it air shots, but he doesn't get any of the ball, doesn't get any of the man. So, yeah, And here's that one now straight after half time. So we've got a goal down, and you're thinking, can we come out now and get back on the front foot?
None of these land really. I mean, they hit their own man there, which is probably the best chance from Townsend. Falls to him again. Again, Sunderland have got plenty of bodies back.
Desire and commitment from the boys back there. You know, I went through it during the game. There was 5 or 6 players. Everybody's getting a block in who's back there. You know, we've got Ahmad back there who's chipping in. I think the back 4 all got a block in themselves. But they were having a little spell there, West Brom. But then we go up the other end straight away, and Linden does wonders there. He's got 2 men up against him, twisting and turning. Digs a lovely ball out. It's that one there, just shifts it there, look, and then stands it up, and there's Dennis. Carried on his run like he does for his second one, gets across the near post. Was he 10 yards out or so, I think? And he just directs it into that top corner. No chance for the goalkeeper, and we're back on level terms. And I think that was his 4th. Is it 5 goals he's got now? Did he have before the start of play today?
On the stats at the end of the...
So he's on 5 now, so that was his 4th goal of the season.
Linden was great all afternoon, real captain's performance.
Linden, just his energy throughout his performance. Armband on as well this afternoon with Danny Bart being out of the team. But still, to be fair to Townsend, I thought he put a couple of good balls in that one there. Lovely ball, isn't it? Asking for someone from their point of view to get on the end of it. No takers. This one at Ajayi, a couple of times he'd thrown himself to the floor. There was one from the wide free kick, no contact. This one here, he goes down, he takes a heavy touch going away from goal, and then we're thinking, has he got a bit of his shirt, Luke O'Nien? But he hasn't really. He's got his hand on him there, but no, there's no real contact. No. You can't see, he hasn't got a grasp on his shirt or anything, so it's a strange one, just throws himself to the floor again. Header up and over the top, Anthony Patterson. Didn't have too many saves to make in that second half, really. That one there was a comfortable header, I'd say, for a goalkeeper, isn't it? And where are we at now? Luke just tries to read that one, just steps in front. Asante leaves the ball behind. We get away with that one a little bit. This is the one, wasn't it now? So Dan Neal's pulled the trigger. We're thinking, is he offside? But I think Eric Peters is a little bit deeper in the middle than the rest of the back 4 for West Brom. Playing one side in there. Looks like it's going in. I
thought that was in.
Yard or so past the post. So you can see from the highlights in the second half, it is quite an open half, isn't it? Where we're having a couple of opportunities.
This was definitely out here.
Yeah. And then I thought at first, was he offside because he's deep on the line? But the ball's gone out. And you can see actually, keep your eye on there's a fan behind the lines. We watch straight away, puts his hands on his head. Look, he knows it's off the pitch. And here we go now. Dennis, just rolls it into Edouard Michu, plays it, carries his run on into Alex Pritchard, just feeds it back into his path. And I think it's outside of the boot or a toe poke, we're not fussed, whatever it is.
Doesn't matter.
But it's ended up in the back of the net, and the defender comes across and just flips up and over him. Keeper no chance. Would he have saved it if it's flat on the floor? We maybe see from this angle. Let's have a look. Possibly, it's up and over him, So deflections helped us, but as I say, that's how football goes. Tuesday night, deflection went against us, cost us 2 points today. We've taken another 2, so it's one of them. Look at Dennis. Say last week, got himself sent off. This week, he's the hero. And the fans there, couple with the shirts off down at the bottom corner.
Goodness,
one couple late on, wasn't it? Gordon Hickman off the bench. I think this is his first involvement. Cuts across it. It's trying to make its way back towards that bottom corner. Anthony Patterson's got it covered anyway. And I think this one, I think it's just a little let off here. Off the bench. I think it's his first touch, isn't it? Any good contact on that, and he's probably taking a point there. We switch off at the bottom corner. Got away with it, but 3 points. Thank you very much.
All right, then. The main thing the fans want to see right now, Danny, is the league table. Can we see it? Let's have a look. Sunderland sit in 6th position on goal difference ahead of Millwall on 65 points. Sunderland have got 2 games to play. Some of those teams, including Blackburn and West Brom, have 3 games to play. The teams above us as well on 43. Sunderland could occupy 5th as well if they were to win their remaining 2 games.
Coventry in there amongst it, aren't they, as well, to be fair to them. And I think if you look at Millwall making hard work of it, Blackburn are doing their best to come out of the playoffs, and the goal difference isn't great. We said it before. Obviously, West Brom, yes, they've got that extra game on us, but they're running on paper. They've got Sheffield United away next. So that's obviously a difficult one for them to go down there. And they've got to look after our own results. Obviously, Watford, who are probably out of it now. I think they're down in 12th, aren't they? Just out of the picture there. And then the last one there, Preston away. So it's all in our own hands in a way, really, isn't it? You need a couple of results to go for you. Of course you do, but we've got to keep on going. And if we take 6 points out of these last 2 games, I think we'll be there.
Oh my goodness. All right, then let's move on to hashtag Ask Danny then, what the fans have been saying around the world. A couple of these. One from Jack, who says, if we had VAR, would we still be in the same position? Would The goal from Huddersfield, that was disallowed. I was stood if it was reviewed on VAR. I mean, do you think VAR will come down to the Championship eventually, Danny?
Possibly, yeah. I think there'll be pressure. Obviously, I think looking at the money in the game or what it costs to have it installed, and obviously it's the amount of jobs then with people, obviously extra officials looking at, games and stuff like that that have to be taken into account. But yeah, I think there'll be a push for it at some stage. But it's how far down the pyramid does it go then, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where does it stop? Championship, Premier League, I'm guessing. But we're talking about it there, and we mentioned it during the game as well. You watch games, you watch Match of the Day, and they still get things wrong on VAR. It's all about opinions at the end of the day, and I think you've got the on-field official. He makes a decision, but then who's he getting overruled by? Another referee sat in a booth, is it Stockley Park, watching the game. He's got a different view. He might think there's contact. He doesn't. It's all about opinions, isn't it, really? I just think, in a way, if the ref's not sure, just have a word in his ear and say straight away, just run to the monitor at the side of the pitch if it's a big decision, like the penalty there, for instance. So someone's watching it, just say to him straight away, just go and have a quick check on the monitor, see what you think. He goes and checks, and if he's watching it like we've watched it there, I think he's going, do you know what, I've got that wrong, I don't think there's any contact, straight away. But yeah, it's something I'm sure that's going to get discussed. I think Howard Webb's in charge of it now, isn't he, at the top in terms of the referee side of things, and he wants to try and get things right. I think, thinking about Howard in his ref days, obviously ref me a fair few times in my career, and I think he's a decent bloke and he wants to try and iron out the issues. I think, people say about VAR, would you get rid of it? I think it's a good idea. It's just getting it right and getting the right people in place to try and get it right.
Let's have a look at the final thought this afternoon here on #AskDanny, and it comes in from Chris, who says, hello from Kosamai. It says, just shouted the place down with that winner. Great performance and the result I expected. Just want to #AskDanny. How many points we need to secure playoffs? 2 huge games left. I guess if we win 2, we're in a good position.
Yeah, I think, minimum of 4. Where would that leave us? I'm not sure. Again, it's all about results, isn't it? Yeah, of course it is, yeah. So
you give yourself a good chance if you win the home game on Saturday against Watford, who may be a bit disheartened from this weekend's results, and then win the final game.
Yeah, Preston away, isn't it? Yeah, but no, I think, listen, if we take 6 now, I think we're pretty much there. And then you're still maybe hoping on 1 or 2 others. If West Brom obviously win their last 3, they'll go above us, won't they?
Yes.
So they've got it all to do. And Blackburn as well. So it's in their hands, really. They're the 2 teams with the game in hand. But as I say there, Blackburn are having a bit of a wobble. West Brom, obviously, they picked up a couple before today, but we've beat them there. So they'll be deflated now after getting beat at home against ourselves, who have obviously leapfrogged them now into those places. But yeah, I think how many do we need to secure it? It's a bit of a lottery. But I say, got a minimum of 4. You may be still in it, but yeah, take 6 and I think we'll be there.
Okay, Danny, thanks for your thoughts this afternoon. We'll be back, of course, on Saturday with that huge game against Watford as Sunderland continue their drive towards the playoffs this season. What a season it's been so far, and there's still 2 games left after today. We'll see you for that on Saturday. It's a 3 p.m. kickoff for that, so we'll be on air from around 2:30 here on SAFC Live. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.